Good morning, December 26th, Thursday at about 10 o'clock. Had a good night's sleep actually. Was able to bag some solid 4 hour blocks of sleep. Pretty good. A couple weird dreams. Hanging out with my brother at some pool and lost him somewhere. It was a very bizarre dream. But it was a interesting one. Just spoke to my bone marrow biopsy nurse technician, and she ran me through the procedure. It's a bedside thing. It's a little more, I'm going to feel it a little bit more than the first time, and I knew that was the case. We opted for a small dose of Dilaudid just to take the edge off, so I'm good with that, just a little amount. Since the first time I did have a little gas or something they gave me, I didn't feel a thing. So we're looking for that good output, man. I want zero blast, zero blast, zero blast, zero blast. That's what I want. I don't want any blasts. That'll be a really, really good outcome. So hoping and praying for that, and just trying to vibe that. It is what it is, right? But we want zero. Zero, zero, zero. So anyway, I'm going to do a couple updates today instead of one big long blah, blah, blah. So that's it for now. I'll check back in later. See ya. All right, 12 o'clock. Just had the bone marrow biopsy. Wow. That was trippy, man. The first one I had, I must have been out and I didn't realize it. She called it twilight something. And they're giving you a little something and you're basically partially out. I didn't realize that because I didn't feel one thing. This was totally different. They gave me a small amount of Dilaudid just to take the edge off, but so initially it starts with a little stinger, a lidocaine, and that was like a bee sting, man. It freaking hurt at first, but then it goes away. Then she goes in deep down to the bone with the lidocaine, and you feel that, and then it kind of goes away. So I would say that was almost the most painful. And then she punches a needle in and pulls some blood out, and I didn't feel anything there, and I was cranking tool the whole time. I don't know why. I just like the tool. That fear inoculum is just it actually calms me in some weird way. But she was cool. She was giving me play-by-play, and so needle in, and then she's like, okay, you're going to hear the drilling now. And it was just like a core drill. And I could feel it on my bone. Just, and she's like, okay, we're in. And then some pressure, like where they're sucking it out. But then she said, we're going in a little more and more drilling. And it was just literally like a drill. It was crazy, crazy. And and there you go. And then she said, we're done. She pulled it out. I'll post a picture of the score sample. She was way cool. And the whole process was wild, you know. But man, I felt that drilling, but I was a little numbed up. But you could just feel it in your body, in your bone, just grinding. And wow, that was trippy. So hopefully I don't have to have too many of those. It wasn't that bad. I would say it was like a mild slam on your bike. If you just ever get off real hard and you slam the ground, it was kind of like that. That level of pain, where it's just a quick, just boof, and then you just got to get up and just what the hell happened. And I'm glad I did the Dilaudid. I only did 2.5 whatevers. I didn't do the normal 5, just to take the edge off. And there we go. So I got to hang out on my back for a while, keep pressure on it. And just anyway, so we're praying for the zero blast, zero blast, zero blast, zero blast. What I don't want any blasts. I want it all dead. We're vibing that biopsy, zero blast, baby. Come on. All right, just got some serious details from Dr. Aurora. I call her Dr. Borealis. She's hella cool. hematologist. Dr. Tamer Hoffman is my the main cat running the whole thing, but I never see him. I see Aurora daily. And so what she told me is what I went through is the induction phase. This is a bunch of detail. I'm just passing it on this is for the people that are maybe going to be going through this, and just anybody interested in this. But this is for others that may stumble across my videos and have something similar, and so they can understand what to expect. I hope it's helpful. So what I went through when I went through the initial chemo, the 3-7 idarubicin cytarabine for 7 days, is they call the induction phase. And because I have this NPM1 FLT3 mutation, it's a little worse scenario. So I needed the additional quizartinib drug to help kill that shit. And so now that I'm through that, we've done the bone marrow transplant today. And then what will happen is I'm trending up a little bit, but they already expect that this leukemia, these cells are still in me. We've only kind of pushed it back a little bit. We've kind of put a lid on it temporarily, so to speak. And so prior to my whole bone marrow transfusion, that could take several weeks to get ready. We're not close to that phase at all, which I thought we were. And so then I will go through what they call the consolidation phase. And I will come back for what you call a high DAC, a high dose cereterabine, which is some of the stuff I had for 7 days, 24 hours. And I'll get 3 days of that shit again for 21 days cycle. And so I will probably come in and be released, come in and be released, come in and be released. And so it's a 21-day cycle, and this is all prior. And so that's just to keep pounding those leukemia cells that they know are probably going to come back. And this is all just based on statistical stuff on, thousands and thousands and thousands of prior leukemia patients. And then I will be ready for this bone marrow transplant. Transplant is the word. It's not a transfusion. Even though they transfuse it into you, they call it a transplant. It's a cellular therapy stem cell transplant. And but I need to go through this additional consolidation phase of chemo, which I didn't realize. And so that's interesting. I'm not looking forward to that because that was a horrible... Anyway, you got to do it. You got to do it. We want to kill this shit. I'm doing whatever they tell me I need to do. Who am I to judge anything or think that I'm going to find some other miracle cure out there? Hell no. I'm going with the full Western approach. UCSF, baby. I'm trusting them 110%. And so there you go. So I may stay at 3rd Avenue at my buddy Rob's family home that's available to me. It's totally empty. It was just remodeled, and it's open and available to me. I may stay there through that 21 days. So we're looking like this is another month prior to the bone marrow transplant, which will then be another month. So, man, I'm in for a long haul here. So I have to really have a serious talk with my caregivers and for my mom. I have to do some preparation at my house. Mom's walking a little wobbly now, and I got to get ready for her to not be able to walk, and how we're going to move her and transfer her. Because when we've always had her able to walk, we could get her to stand and transfer into a wheelchair. and then walk to her living room chair and walk to her bedroom, walk to the bathroom. But if she can't walk, it's a whole different game. So I got to make preparations for that. I got some ideas, I got some plans for that, and I'm going to start executing that right away. Anyway, that's all I got for now. There's some detail for you. All right, until next one. Hey, what's up, everybody? Back again, 5 o'clock. Just gonna kind of summarize some of the stuff I said earlier. I've been thinking about it all day. I tell you what, you have a lot of time to think. You're in your head here the whole time. You know, when I'm not here, you're doing stuff. You're going to work, you're driving, you're doing shit, taking care of stuff. You're outside of your head. But here, I am in my head the whole time, and I have a lot of time to internalize everything. So a lot of thinking going on, a lot of planning and thinking about the future and possibilities of this and that, and trying to stay positive, of course. But like I said in the previous video, I realized that there's like 3 phases to this. What I just went through now is the induction phase. I think I misspoke a little bit in the last one, but I'll clarify some of that now. Induction phase. So that's a day, basically 1 all the way through about 25. Could be 28, could be 23. Probably not 23 because that'd be tomorrow, I guess. But, or the next day. Anyway, so probably like 25, 28. And so induction is the initial chemo round. You know, the 1 through 7, which is the heavy guns of the 2 different types of chemo. You feel real sick, you're throwing up, just not fun. And then the 2 weeks after that of the quizartinib, which is specific to the gene mutation I have, FLT3, FLT3 is what they call it. And that's a pill form. It kind of upsets your gut a little bit, but that's the continuation of that. And so the feeling I get is, after speaking to Dr. Rohr, is this leukemia is still in me. This chemo didn't get it. They didn't get it all. And it will come back. And they already know that from past history. So, you know, my blast may not be 0. I don't know. You know, we'll see. That's the best outcome possible. That's what we want. But it's still in me, and it probably will still come back. Even though I'm making white blood cells now, they could be the bad white blood cells. They could be the leukemia white blood cells, not the ones we want. But we'll find that out with the bone marrow biopsy that I did today. So the next phase of this is called the consolidation phase. And the consolidation phase is more chemo, like I mentioned, and it's a little different. It's the same drug used, not the super strong one initially, but the one that was the one day 1 to 7, cytarabine, whatever. And it's done in over 21 days, 3 weeks, and you get 3 days of it. And I think it's a 24-hour, 3-day drip. So I think I come in, I do the 3-day thing. They release me. I hang. I got to be with a caregiver, and then I come back. Make sure I don't have temperature. Make sure I'm okay, because I'll have to come in right away to get some drugs and this and that. And then I'm back again the next week, and then the next week. Perhaps I'll stay the entire 3 weeks. I'm not sure. It sounded like they don't. They kind of release you, typically. So this is where I may stay here in the city. It may make more sense than go home, get a ride in all the way to the city. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, so that is the consolidation phase. So after the consolidation phase, I believe we do another bone marrow biopsy. We're looking at the cells. We're looking to make sure there are no leukemia cells, white blood cells are healthy, and that I'm making good cells. And by that time, I think they'll have a firmer, they'll know about my bone marrow transplant. Transplant is the right word. And so it's going to take some time. That transplant takes a little time to prepare, to get the DNA from whoever's the donor, to concoct it into whatever blood that I have, which is A plus for Adrian plus. That's right. And then and get it ready. And so it's not going to be. I thought I'm going into this transplant fairly quickly, but I'm not. I didn't realize there's this consolidation phase. And then, so the transplant is another 30 days and more drugs and things to help ensure that my body's accepting it. So the way I see it, I'm about a third way through. I'm in the woods still, man. I'm deep in the woods and I'm hacking my way out, and I have a long way to go. A long way to go. So I'm about a third way through this forest. I'm hacking, but I'm surviving. I've got good tools. I've got good people. I've got good support, and I'm a survivor. So I'm going to get through that forest and hoping for the best outcome from these 3 phases. And we won't know. We won't know anything until we cross those bridges, till we get through those rivers and we get over the humps. And so there you go. That's what I know now. Now you know. And I love all the good vibes. Everybody's been hella cool. I mean, what can I say? I'm moving forward with prepping for mom. Just getting ready. I got a new vanity coming. I'm making space in the bathroom to get the wheelchair in there, extending grab bars and this and that, get another lift out in the living room. Just make it easier for the caregivers. Now, of course, we don't want mom to stop walking right away. We want her to keep walking. That's the best thing we can do. Keep her moving, keep her walking, keep her walking. But if it's not safe, we can't do it. So there you go. That's what I got for now. And until tomorrow, I think tomorrow I'm going to have some bone marrow biopsy results. And we will see what we got. That'll be interesting. All right, guys. Love you all. Thank you so much for everything. Talk soon.